is Dan. I have traveled the world, and while traveling, Iceland is one of the best places I've ever been. Iceland is my 36th country visited. I've been wanting to go to Iceland, but due to the crowds and the prices, I've been holding off on going. I started seeing news about an active volcano, and I kept close tabs on it and noticed that it wasn't going away, and I wanted to come and visit. I knew due to COVID that there wouldn't be that many tourists and prices would be low. Besides Blue Lagoon, volcano in downtown Reykjavik, I had the roads basically to myself along with the destinations. The costs are lower, such as the flights were was $720 for my round trip. I went from Orlando MCO to JFK, New York City, to KEF. It was like 3 hours from Orlando to JFK and 5.5 hours to Reykjavik. If I was patient, I could have waited 2 weeks and got my flight for about $450 round trip. Many of the hotels and guest rooms are under $100, so it's not that expensive. The SUV rental was I think $170 for 4 days, which allowed me to go on the F roads. It said it's a 4x4, but it wasn't much of a SUV. Food prices is about 200-300% of what I pay here in America and Florida, and gas was $9 per gallon approximately. Before you go to Iceland, a good tip is download the offline Google Maps. Also, you don't need local cash. I use credit card for everything. I did tip American cash on the Glacier tour, and the guy was very happy because it's more stable currency. The current conversion rate for ISK, the Kronen, was 124 to 1 USD when I went May 14th through the 18th. Make sure you pack for a rainy day, cold weather. When you're at the airport, make sure you get a SIM card. There's a 10-11 supermarket before you leave, and you can pick one up. I got the Nova Unlimited, which had unlimited local calls and text. It came with 10 gigabytes of data, and I believe it was good for 30 days, or 20 days, but I only needed it for 4. It's like $25. It was definitely worth it. It'll take about an hour to get through the airport. There's like one security check off the plane, and then they go through another security check, checking your documents for COVID, and then there is the final PCR COVID test that you're required to have about an hour to get out. Their PCR test is a little bit more intensive. They take the tongue swab, they go really deep, you'll gag, and then of course their PCR all the way up to the brain. 72 hours before you depart, make sure you go to visit.covid.is for the Icelandic check-in, which you're going to need to provide a negative PCR test evidence, like a document, unless you have vaccination or evidence of a prior COVID document from your doctor. When you're heading back to the US, if you're a US citizen, you will need a negative PCR, so you'll have to schedule it online. You can get one in Reykjavik. It was a pretty quick process. It was in and out in probably 15 minutes. It cost like 56 US. After you get out of the airport, before you go to the volcano, go get some groceries, pick up some water. Make sure you use the restroom. There is no restroom or food or anything from the parking lot all the way to the volcano. The trails are very busy. You won't be alone on the trails. I believe most of the people that were locals. I had cell phone service the whole entire time I was up on there. I actually broadcasted live on Facebook with my wife. The volcano and the parking is free. There's no entry fee. It may be raining. Make sure you bring waterproof clothing, and it could get cold real quickly. It's always breezy in Iceland. The volcano erupts every 5 minutes. It took me just over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to get from the parking lot to the final viewpoint of the volcano. I've seen young kids as young as 6 and people probably in the 80s and 90-year-old easily handling the trails. I even seen people on bikes. While in Iceland, I was averaging about 11 miles a day walking, so make sure you bring very comfortable shoes and socks.